Hello everybody, how's everyone doing? Hope you're doing really good. Remember a couple of weeks ago when Kim Jong-un visited Putin, and I remember saying at the time to my Facebook friends, I said, I'm a bit worried about that visit, and I reckon that in time it'll become apparent why he decided to visit Putin. And lo and behold, he gets back, he starts testing rockets again, and there are remarkable similarities in the rockets that the North Koreans were testing to what Russia had in their nuclear arsenal about 10 years ago. And it was noted that there are some markings on it that were most definitely Russian. So my next question is Putin courting North Korea's attention? Is he basically trying to commandeer their trade, all their attention, rather than the United States and Trump making friends with him? Just seems as if, it just seems a bit funny, that's all I'm saying, that he has his meeting with Trump a few months ago, and it went so-so, not great. Then Putin thinks, come over to Russia, try a bit of Russian hospitality. And the end result was that Kim goes away, and he's got a new best pal, Putin. So Russia will be joined by two allies in the coming confrontation. One of those allies could well be North Korea, and the other, who knows? Could be Iran. Imagine that, eh? That Russia has North Korea on one side, Iran on the other. And this is the biblical prophecy, isn't it? They're supposed to be fulfilled in the last days, where the king of the north is joined by two other countries, and then there is this confrontation against the other king. It is interesting. And it's stacking up. It makes sense to me that North Korea would have a friendship with Russia, because I think in history, they have been close in history, whereas the relationship with the United States, as you know, quite appalling in history. So when push comes to shove, Russia will draw upon its allies. Now, I was doing a history check on how many are allied to Russia, and I believe there's about 21 countries that would probably support Russia when it comes down to the final confrontation. And there's, probably equal number that would support NATO. It ain't going to be a great time, is it? Yeah, they'll get the chance to test their weaponry at local level, but they won't get the chance to test anything that's likely to destroy the earth. I think that that's the point in which they'll be stopped in their tracks by probably what is likely to be, I almost can't say this, but I believe that an angelic army will descend on the earth, and that we'll probably witness the human army is completely annihilated. Can't prove this, the Bible doesn't prove it to me. There's passing revelation that suggests that man just won't be given the chance to unleash outright destruction. He'll just be stopped in his tracks, and the weapons that he's got will just be puny in comparison to the superhuman forces that he'll be up against in the final battle. Yeah, it's going to be quite interesting when it all happens. Be nice to be able to sort of watch it from the sidelines like a spectator would, without getting too close. If we do engage against Russia and there are a few casualties, if we can all sort of be watching this unfold on our news stations, before, the actual financial crash or the tribulation. If we have something to then measure where we are in the stream of time, then I'm sure it'll help a lot of people come to more immediate conclusions instead of just being so doubtful as to what's likely to happen. And I suppose that's where I am at the moment. I kind of know from my studies of 50 years ago that the day would come when I would witness all these quite remarkable things, and they'd start to unfold right before my eyes. And that's what happens when you're a theologian and when you're not an atheist. It's all right for you atheist, quite simply in fact, because you don't believe that there's a God. So if you don't believe in there's a God, then you can't believe the book of Revelation. You can't believe that man is going to enter into a judgment period. So it's just a lot easier to be an atheist, just simply because you don't have as many hang-ups. An atheist doesn't have the same hang-ups as a creationist. A creationist would wake up every day and decide that he needs to bless God, for the food he eats and the life he's got. But an atheist doesn't have that. He just sort of hedonistic and sort of pleasure-seeking in a way when you're an atheist, because you're just seeking your own interest all the time. You're not really thinking about spiritual things. I'm not saying that you're totally selfish, because obviously I know a lot of atheists that do a lot for charities. I know that. My cousins, they don't believe in God, but they do a lot for charity, believe me. And sometimes it's just damn sight easier if we didn't have a belief that we do. But I can't change that, because I can't suddenly just say that God doesn't exist. Because to me, there's always been a force of good against a force of evil. I've always felt, pulled in one direction, then pulled in another direction. And for me, that's all about having a belief in God and then trying to do what you think that God would want you to do and how he'd want you to live your life. So I just can't change anytime soon, people. I shouldn't have to apologise for that. It's just the way I am. And I'm still seeking those answers. So keep them rolling, people. Keep them rolling. Thank you very much. Goodbye.